All right. Welcome back and good morning once again. My name is Fred Indimuli. We now want to talk about the tea levy debate. With us this morning, we have Willie Mutai, who is the Chief Executive Officer, Tea Board of Kenya, to help us understand exactly what this tea levy is about. And this conversation we started last week when we had Gigi Kagombe, MP Gatundu South. Gigi Kagombe is a director and a board member of KTDA Holdings and also director of one of the tea factories in Kiambu. And he was very much opposed to this tea levy. And we just need some clarity on a few things here as well. That's why we're having Bwana Mutai with us. Good morning, karibu sana to TV47.
Asante, thank you.
Yes, what is your position about the tea levy from a regulatory perspective? Because Tea Board of Kenya is a regulator of the sector here.
Thank you, Ndibuli. The tea levy initially is for the industry. This is a sector which has been there from 1953. So we have been a regulatory agency from 1953 to date. And we have been undergoing a lot of changes in terms of how we run the tea subsector. The latest was we were operating under the Tea Act, Cap 347, then it was repealed. And when it was repealed, that time we used to charge what you call the manufacturing cess and what you call the APC, Agriculture Produce Cess and Manufacturing Cess. Manufacturing cess that time it was 46 cents. For each and every kilo of made tea.
46 cents.
46 cents. So, and it was repealed in 2013, and we brought what we call ad valorem levy. And that time we didn't have the counties. So the two issues came after that collection of the ad valorem levy at 1%. We had tremendously expanded the sector at that time. That time the volume was 399 million kilos. Currently we are at around 652 million kilos. And the market destination has also expanded. So the intention for this levy is for four purposes. The first purpose is what we call the income stabilization fund for the farmers. That is 50%. The second one is the one for infrastructure by the counties. That is what we call infrastructure fee at 15%. Then the third one is 20% for the tea research, for doing the research purposes. And the last one now is for the levy for the Tea Board of Kenya at 15%. So when you collect this fund is as per the established law, it will go to one central account, then the 50% is for the farmers, the Kenya tea farmers. Okay. So that brings in the question of who pays. And that is one of the issues which has been circulating in so many people giving misinformation. One, this levy is attracted in two perspectives. One is what you call the export levy, which will be charged 0.8% and is paid by the consumer. Okay. The consumer per se is like if you are a buyer in Pakistan, you buy a price in the auction. Like yesterday, the auction was ongoing. So the farmers were paid yesterday. So when you are now exporting on this Friday, the person who had given the instruction for that tea to be bought, you load now 0.8%. Okay. Number two is if you are importing tea to this country, that one is you have to be charged 100%. It's a protection levy. You protect because we are a leading country in production of tea. We are the first in Africa. And then we are the third in the global perspective in supply of tea. So this one is to protect our farmers. Because people can go to Argentina or Bangladesh and bring a $0.5 tea and mix with ours and re-export. So that's what we call protection levy. And if you must bring, you must take it to the export promotion zone, okay. EPZ. And again, is if you must bring and blend because of that tea, maybe someone give you, I want Malawi tea, mixed with Kenya tea and mixed with Rwanda tea. So you must pay. And when you pay, 100%. If you are importing at $2, you must pay at $2. This is to protect two aspects, to protect over supply here, someone bringing in tea when we are struggling to export the farmers' tea. Number two, to protect our integrity of our teas. We are lucky, we are in the equator, we don't use pesticides. Okay. These are the countries like India, Sri Lanka, and other countries. They use pesticides to manage their teas. So this is to protect our products.
All right.
Yeah.
And thank you for that overview. But for the benefit of our viewers, the tea levy regulations 2026 were gazetted on 1st of April this year and became effective a month later, 1st of May, under Section 53 of the Tea Act 2020.
Yes.
So this replaces other earlier levies and other additional concerns that came before. So as you explain, it is 0.8%.
Yes.
And it's only levied on exports.
Yes.
And this is, you've broken down how it benefits.
Yes.
One, the farmer.
Yes.
Research and development, county infrastructure, and even some regulatory functions carried out by the Tea Board of Kenya.
Yes.
Yet there's so much opposition, including from farmers, including from legislators, who probably were part of this, the development of this piece of legislation.
Yes.
Why do you think there's so much opposition to this?
To me, I can say it's a people who want to remain relevant. I can cite the MB from, I don't know, is it Katundu North or Katundu South? Katundu South. Because, you know, in the ground, the farmers are very enlightened. They know we sell teas at 52 weeks. And when it comes to selling our teas, each and every tea perform as per how it's selling their tea. And the resistance is about misinformation. But when you go to the farmers and you explain to them, they know this money. In history, this country has been taken for right in terms of who should benefit most. One of the key issues is when you buy our teas at bulk and you don't pay anything. It's like you are making my farmers in Kenya to be the suppliers of the raw material. The biggest issue that we need to recapture, and my honest opinion, and I think even to the farmers as a business, is people buy our teas at a cheap price and they go and re-export. Why should a country buy 42% of my tea and go and re-export at a triple the price? You buy my tea, let's say Pakistan, buy 42% of the Kenya tea, around 235 million kilos, and they give me 73 billion. And they go and re-export 40%, and they make 1.92 billion US dollars. That's around over 230 billion, only on 40% of the 235 million kilos. And I'm struggling to keep the farmers a decent price at 652 million kilos. I'm giving them 186 billion. So you see, we are losing touch and giving an honest opinion as the leaders. What we should say is Kenyan tea should leave this country when it is packed.
Right.
And when it is packed, we get the value.
You talked about misinformation, and you also talked about the farmer. You raised the question as well, that the question has been, who pays the farmer? You said that yesterday Kenyan tea was sold, so the farmers were paid?
Yes.
Were they paid instantly?
Instant. The laws that we are talking is these are laws that came into being when we did the tea reforms. And there are two aspects that my minister and it was given powers to say the two regulations. And there are so many to come. We have the first one is the tea registration and licensing regulation. That's give us how we run the businesses. We should register the commercial nursery operators. Those people who are doing a nursery for commercial purposes should be registered by the county governments, which are 21 where we grow tea. Number two is the farmer, who are around 1 million farmers should be registered as a supplier of raw material to the specific factories. Luckily, in this country, we are structured into three. We are structured into the small-scale subsector run by KTD as a managing agent, and they have 71 factories, and they have 71 boats. And then number two, we have the multinational companies who are also having the farmers, and we have the Nyayo Tea Zones companies. And we have another group for the locals, which are called Independent Tea Producers Association, which are the local people who own the factories. All the factories are 142 in Kenya. And they produce what I had said, 652 million kilos. So what this entails is there are small, there's a processes, and we have all the various licenses and certificates that we issue. So the most critical one is the one for manufacturing license. Manufacturing license, in history, we are charging 7,500, one-off. And unlike other enterprises, a factory which is doing 6 billion is being charged 7,500. It's a fee.
Okay.
And then we have the tea buyer, which again, the license is 10,000. And we have a tea importer, which again, the license is 10,000. And then we have the auction organizer. Currently, we have two. We have the IT and we have the Mombasa Tea Auction, which their license again is 10,000. So when people say there are a lot of taxes again in tea, I can honestly say, without fear of contradiction, we have no tax in tea. Okay. Zero. Because the latest that we used to have is the one that you call the VAT on the teas that you buy at the factory. Okay. That one was repealed in 2025, and it is no longer there. When you go to and buy tea in the factory, there is no VAT. And the packaging material, there is no VAT. So when people say for two taxes, I'm shocked. And it's not there. Okay. So the only one that we say is on dues is a consumer levy paid by the person buying Kenya teas. Okay. Yes.
Let's go back to the farmer and the issue about payment to farmers.
Yes.
Because the local farmer will just deliver his tea to a factory.
Yes.
Bwana Mutai, I want you to take us through with a process that goes all the way from the farmer delivering his tea to the factory, and it ends up at the auction where this levy is collected, and how the farmer gets his money, so that probably we can demystify that piece of misinformation. How does the farmer get paid?
Let me just give you the actual, in this country, I have 904,129 tea farmers who have grown tea, and I have 142 factories. And we have two regions, East and West. On all these regions, they are in 21 counties. When a farmer, let's say, let me just take an example, Teta. He has grown his 2 acres. He gets registered in a factory. Let's say you have 2 acres. 1 acre can produce around 6,000 kilos of green leaf. And then based on the arrangement, if he's applying KTDA managed factories, they are paid 30 shillings at the moment for the East of Rift. For the West of Rift, except Mamul, they are paid 28 shillings. The rest are paid 26 shillings on monthly payment.
East region is which one?
West of Rift is Rift Valley side.
Kericho and the others.
Kericho, Nandi, Kisii, Kapsara, Kisii, Nyamira, and Narok, and Nakuru. That is in West of Rift. Okay. The East of Rift starts from Kiambu, where we are, go to Murang'a, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Taraganiti, and Meru, and Nyeri. That is the East of Rift. So how the payment comes in is when a farmer harvests tea, he must collect it in a collection center. And in this regulation that we can say that we have spelled how you should handle your leave, that if you are supplying a Kamba tea factory, you must seek to be a grower. So the factory give you the registration form, you register, and they give you a certificate as a farmer. You don't pay. So that all those leaves now are collected into collection point and then delivered to a factory. That factory called Kamba, we give them a license of 7,500 per year, annual renewal. And we do other services now. We have what we do as a Tea Board of Kenya. Yes. Then number 2, that factory is given free packing license. They can pack without paying that license. So they come in 2 in 1. So from there now, this tea is once manufactured, what is applied is that the conversion factor is in each and every 4 kilos of green leaf, you make 1 kilo of made tea. So you make 1 kilo now. That is being delivered to Mombasa. Okay. And then there is someone called the warehouse. So we are lucky for the small scale subsector, they take to their warehouse in Mombasa. And then when it's in the warehouse, the auction organizer now picks it up and catalog and give a number for the auctioning. Like yesterday, we were in auction 31. And last week, we were in auction 32. In the whole year, we have 52 auction days. Okay. And we have 3 or 4 days that we have ST. So there is so many days that we have ST, and we have less days that we are what we are auctioning. But we have opened up in this regulation to allow the farmer to have an export license and can sell. Doesn't mean what you produce in Kamba, you must take it to Mombasa. If you have someone paying you...
Not all Kenyan tea.
Not all Kenyan tea. No, it's even it's an old school way of selling product. It should be in your phone. You should sell your tea. And I'm encouraging my directors and those who run the factories to make each and every factory to be a city of tea and a market of tea. So that's where we are going, and there will be that big change. Some things will fall out on its own, Because if Kambati's what has been produced yesterday is being sold today, there will be no need for those warehouses that they are there. They should
sell directly.
Yes, they have a right, and they can make the price. And a farmer in the near future should have a dollar account because we sell our things in dollars.
Okay, but yes. if a direct sales are allowed,
yes,
then it makes this seller an exporter.
Yes,
that means that the levy would apply to them.
It will not. That person who is buying will attract a name, call a buyer. He knows he has bought Kambati with $3. So it is duty to know that once I bought this tea, it moved to 3 systems in government. It moved from the warehouse, it come to our T-board portal, where now each and every 24/7 portal where you register your tea. This is what I'm exporting. And then from the same portal, we have the Kent rate, which is, they call it a single window platform for all the export products. So you get a code, then you put the value that is this that I've sold to this guy and I'm buying. You will put $3 plus 0.8%.
To the buyer. For
the buyer. That time the farmer would have received his money. There is all days, like yesterday teas, all the teas that were sold, 5 point something, was sold, and the farmers have the money, as by the law, as by these laws.
That's the question.
Yes.
Hence the question, who pays the farmer? How is
it is a factory now. In these laws also that we cassetted in the auction organizer, there is what you call terms and conditions. Once you sell the tea and you have said, I'm a buyer A, and you have bidded Kambati, and you have said you have bought this PP1 grade, PF1 grade at this volume. So once you bid in the auction and you put a price, let's say $3.2, that $3.2, it should automatically be remitted. Once you have commit, that is knocked out in the catalog. And it's committed. That's what we are saying, absorption. At what absorption was that factory now? Where you talk about it was 100%, it is 80%. So you will find now a factory has sold the teas. And there are 3 banks, Stanbic, Equity, and currently is Diamond Trust Bank.
Under the T-Board of Kenya.
Under the auction, which it was approved to be the one called the extra. They received the money from the buyer, and then it moved to the factory account under section 1 of these laws.
So they are the ones who make this distribution, 50% to farmers.
You can't touch the farmer's money.
15% to TBK.
No. It's not like that. Auction is different from the one for the levies. Once you sell, like yesterday in the auction, they were selling the primary grades. When the auction was happening, the farmer's business, the auction for tea was the farmer's day. It doesn't touch about the levies. Okay. It's about who is selling most. Yesterday was highest bidder, was buying at 4.58, the highest in history for this week. So when that guy who sold $4.58, that money was paid by a buyer.
So it comes from the auction
a buyer account to the factory account.
Okay.
The person standing in the auction organizer oversees in the platform. It's a digital of 7 seconds. When you bid and say, I've bought Kambati, it comes as there's someone who is marketing, who is a tea broker, offering those teas and saying, I'm taking this amount. So it runs in 7 seconds. You must bid. When you bid $5.8 for Kambati, so that money comes now. This is a buyer known. It has a target this price. So that price, $4.5 times the volume that you have bought, you multiply it with the number of dollars. Yes. The dollars move straight from the buyer to the account of the factory. For the KTDA, it comes to the KTDA pool account. So Stanbic will wire the money less the brokerage fee, which is in 0.75. Okay. And then that one goes. Then the rest is for the farmer. So this guy now who has bought at $4.5, he will move now. This is what I've bought in this auction for this factory. I bought from this number of factories. He prepared the document now, export documents, and he launched it in the T-Board of Kenya portal. Once you launch in the portal, you multiply now, and then you multiply, you add 0.8%. And then now you pay the account, which goes to the pool account for at the T-Board of Kenya. But now the collecting point is KRA. When they collect that 0.8, it becomes now 100%. of what has been collected. So then now you apportion to 50% again is for the farmer.
So that is the duty of the T-Board of Kenya,
yes.
to apportion.
Yes.
So you are the ones controlling.
As per the law, which the MB formulated in Parliament, and they passed it as a bill, and it was cassetted, and it's a law. It's not about, I'm not the one changing. It's him who legislated and produced that law. So I must adhere to.
Yeah. Okay.
So another aspect is the misconception of this money is for who? It is for the farmer. 65% touches the common mwananchi. And then even if we were say, it's not there, the guy will have taken the $4.5 from Kambati and go. This is an extra and it is deliberate effort that should be charged for this country, for the Kenya farmers to develop the industry. So number two, maybe in that we make it in holistic approaches. Are we the only one charging in the whole world? No. This is charged by each and every country. Let's start from a very unique country called Turkey. They produce tea and they charge any tea 115%. India, 115%. You go to Bangladesh, they charge ad valorem levy 1%. You go to Sri Lanka, they charge 4%. So why Kenya? Why will people want to make this country farmers tea that we produce not to pay for my farmers?
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about the legality and the process.
Yes.
Like the gentleman we've just been talking about is an MP and is also involved with farmers and even the leadership at KTDA.
Yes.
If they argue, he also argues that some of these laws were not formulated properly, that they were linked to or preceded a flawed tea amendment bill process, lacked adequate parliamentary scrutiny, and probably even brought back things that had already been scrapped. The legal process in formulating this piece of legislation up until now, if a member of parliament is complaining about the same, aren't there questions about the process?
Not even that, how was he elected? He was elected through the Tea Act 2020. So he should say, and then he need to go home and not to be a director, because if he was elected in the Tea Act 2020 under the tea reforms, it means it's all holistic. You cannot say because you have been elected now, other rules which applies doesn't apply. There is even a section where we are in court, section 34, where he's even operating illegally, because the law says once you are elected in the factory as a factory director, you remain to be a factory director. Once you get opportunity to be elected in other entities, which has commercial disparities or commercial differences with the other one, like him now, he needed to have relinquished the one that is not to be a director of that tea factory, because that is the law. The law says in section 34(9), once you are elected in the board, you relinquish the other one and now remain to the other subsidiaries. So that's where the law, that's where people want to operate. When it suits them, they don't want to comply. So number two, these issues, why it is delayed from 2020 to date, is someone went to court and say it will look like the levies will impact the farmers. So we went to court, we discussed, we were allowed, that's where the minister was allowed under section 74 to make regulation governing the tea sector. The law was passed, ascended into law on 11 January 2020 by the former president. He ascended into law. So all this that we have been running the tea subsector, giving the licenses, but you are missing the regulation, because the last regulation that you're having was signed in 2008 by the current president when he was a minister for agriculture. So imagine 20 years without rules that you are running the tea subsector. Okay. So when it's signed, there are so many other rules that need to be signed. There is this other one for the tea growers payment regulation, which will spell when will you pay the farmer. The law say that you should pay the farmer within 1.5 months. You get all these precedes, which is the payment, not bonuses. There is nothing called the bonuses, even the one that is saying it will impact the bonus. The farmers are waiting what you call the second payment. The first payment is what they are paying monthly. Okay. The second payment is what they are now almost releasing now after closing the account. But the law says you pay the 50% when you realize $4, $2 should be in the farmer's account. That is as per the law.
Or after a month and a half.
No, immediately at the end month, you pay the farmer 50% as per the law. It's in the law, it's in the T Act.
Okay.
Then the remaining 50%, you remove the cost of production. Cost of production means you remove the cost of power, cost of labor, and then the cost of marketing. The difference you give to the farmer. Yes, and that is the law.
You talked about court challenges, and there are those who may have felt that a levy or these regulations introduced may disadvantage the Kenyan tea.
Yes.
Why? Because the Mombasa auction also serves other markets. Rwanda, Burundi, some of them sell their tea through the auction in Mombasa.
Yes.
And probably they do not charge a levy like Kenyan tea. Don't you agree that maybe those are valid concerns?
Sometimes it makes me like you are comparing me with, what can I call, a great cow and Cebu. Because the other guy is, Rwanda is 2%, not Rwanda, Tanzania is 2% of what they're offering in the market. Followed by Malawi, followed by Uganda, followed by Rwanda. I'm the market leader in Africa and the global world. I'm the leading, that one, no doubt, in figures. Last week auction, we were offering around 8 million kilos. Rwanda was struggling offering 400,000 kilos. So if you are a buyer and you want to buy tea, and you know a brand doesn't mean you will change because there's an impact in change in dynamics in the global markets. If you have been having a brand in UK or Pakistan, you must have the equation for Kenya. Without Kenya, there is no teas. This is a volume and producing country and quality. So when people compare and say if buyers are moved to Rwanda, how will you move to 200 to 50,000 kilos of Tanzania?
Yet we've had reports of glut at the auction sometimes, that there's too much tea there, it's not moving, and buyers come and prefer teas from elsewhere and leave Kenyan tea there.
You know, those are what you call street talks. I'm the one who should be responsible if the teas are not sold in Kenya. I should be responsible, and I should not be even at the workplace. Why should I be at the workplace when farmers are not selling the tea? That is sometimes is like, why are we even encouraging someone who is not a tea expert to talk? Because I can show you, this is for last week. And this is, check those one. This is a percentage. All, including his factory, was selling 100%. Teta Tea Factory was auctioned at 1.
So what happens in cases where I can see 89% of tea?
It's normal because when you are selling 90, that means someone has approached you on what you call the DSO.
Direct sales.
Yes. When you find this has been committed in auction, is
so
all
100%
those teas
of the teals is still sold.
It's sold. It's sold.
So
look at this. Look at these figures. Yes.
So there's no case, because you talked about fewer auction occasions of auction.
Yes.
About 42 or 52 in a year.
52 days.
Yes.
That the auction so per week. 52 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is there any point where we experience a glut at the auction, that we have too much tea that is not moving?
Not at all, unless when there is wars or when there is a disruption of a specific market. Then when you can experience supplies. And these are sold in what we call the seasonal dynamics. There is what we call the global religion dynamics. When we have the Ramadan, these uptakes absorption go down. And then we have the season now of winter. We are now preparing, many teas now uptake is going for preparation for the winter in where we are selling in the other countries, the Europe and even China. But other countries are just buying the way they have been buying. So teas has its own seasons.
Yes.
And it has its own dynamics up and down. This is my best month. Everywhere, all years, if you check my figures for always June, July, August, September, up to December, that is my best time to sell tea in Kenya.
Could people people be misreading some global dynamics?
Yes.
That may have affected the flow of tea from Kenya, and blaming these regulations for the same?
Not at all. In fact, when there is, sorry to say, when there is this rough terrain of Iran, Iran, Israel, and US, we are selling more.
So tea is not affected?
Not at all. People drink tea now when there is war. Even Yemen, where I was not selling, I was saying, I will show you the figures again, and I've released in the website. Yemen, I've scored 326% sale, where I was not selling. Lebanon, where I was not even supplying any kilo, I'm selling. So some people will just wake up and talk when they have no basics to say. Yes.
Media reports have reported of some unrest in Kericho, where farmers and even the governor there urged scrapping of the levy, questioning the benefits and stuff like that. Even some of the senators described it as burdensome, senators coming from that region. Are you saying that there was no adequate public participation?
Not at all. It's like, you know, in Kenya, leaders come in, like the one who will come in 2027, so they will be fresh. There are laws which has been passed in parliament. So if you are elected in 2027 and then you will come and say, this law of regulation is affecting your farmers, and you are not there in parliament. Like Agombe was not there when the laws were being prepared in 2019, and it was passed in 2020 before he was elected. When he was elected, that's why we are amending the...
Senator Cheruiyot was there in Parliament.
He is the one who brought this bill, and is one of the very best refined and robust tea bill to be in the history of tea. Because it allows the system to have a check and balances. And then it allows farmers to have an opportunity to even sell their teas. What we had done and what we are going to repeal is the section for banning the direct sale overseas. We had said all the tea should be sold in the auction. So when you take all the teas to the auction, you make one channel to pull down the teas. So we have opened up. We are repealing to open up and say each and every factory should have an export license and should sell the way they want to sell. And each and every factory in the law, 40% should be value added. We are exporting the jobs for these Kenyans. If you go to Pakistan, sorry to use Pakistan, is the industries that has been formed and the levies that are getting at the expense of Kenya, they are getting revenue of 30% for their country. And we are getting zero. And there are people who are supporting them not to pay 0.8, and they are getting 30% for their country. And the jobs, you know, the science of making tea and making the brands should be for Kenyans. There is the unit where it's called in Dubai, where they pack teas, and the people who are in those packing units are Philippines, not Kenyans. Why can we pack this tea as per the law? 40% should be value added. And we will have all these Gen Zs and many people who don't have jobs to have the jobs here in Kenya. Okay. Because why are we exporting the raw material? And then number two, why are we selling our tea at $2 and then someone go and sell at $24? Where are we going wrong? Okay. So that's what we are saying in this law. Follow the law, make people value add, and you don't pay tax.
Yes, the law does exist, Bonamutai, but it would appear very many players in the sector are not happy with it. Or some players.
They are very happy. It's only few people. It's only few, less than 1%.
And you're saying all this is because of...
They are very happy. Why are they no one arguing in Kisii, Kericho, Nandi?
There are some people...
Why one person?
Okay.
Yes.
There are some people who assert that the method of collection of this levy, of course through KRA, that it does not guarantee that the same will benefit the farmer directly, because once you collect it through KRA, money goes to the National Treasury, then depending on how the government is working, it is not guaranteed that it will go directly to the farmer.
You know, that is a wrong way of...
How have you ring-fenced?
You know, there's a law of managing the public funds. And currently, there are two avenues of collecting. It says that you can pay in 2222. Even our licenses, I don't touch any money. As a CEO of Tea Board of Kenya, I don't touch any money. Even the one for the licenses and certificates, it's paid to 222. And then it's remitted as an A&A to Tea Board of Kenya. Like last year, I collected 88 for the licenses and certificates. This one, it is collected by, as the agent of collection is a KRA. They will only charge me the collection fee. When it's remitted to the account at Tea Board of Kenya, the stakeholders will now come for their money. farmers, including my good friend Kagombe, for the farmers for Teta, he should come and say, I need my share of the 50%.
What is the timeline? How does it?
It is as per when we collect and operationalize the 50%, they will come for it. It's for the industry. It is for all these guys who are producing tea, for the farmers of Kenya.
It's kindly take me through the timeline it takes from the collection of the levy up until the benefit for the farmer gets to the farmer, the 50%.
The income stabilization fund, it will run on its own what the farmers want for that money. One, they will say, can we use it to enhance capacities, to modernize, to enhance efficiencies, so that they can cut costs. That's them to decide. And again, once it's collected, I think if you check the one for Sri Lanka, they are now in billions. And they are using it. When you go to, I will share with you the figures for ITC, where I'm the board member. The Sri Lanka, they are selling 56% value-added teas at $9.25. You can easily feel what that farmer of Sri Lanka gets at the end of the day.
You just said something.
So what I'm saying,
that some of this money that's meant to benefit the farmer may not necessarily go to the farmer's pocket. It'll go back to the factory and it could be used for other purposes. For
their units. Last week I was in Tumaita. And,
so it could be a misinformation to say that the 50% from the levy collected goes directly to the farmer's pocket. It just goes to the benefit of the farmer, not necessarily.
It goes to the farmer's pocket. Let me just explain. Last week I was supporting a factory which has been, the last time when they renovated the factory was 1996, a factory called Tumaita. We gave them 28.7 million grants. When the systems are not working, the CTC is not working, it's so old, and efficiency is what you call the throughput. What you bring from the farmers takes a lot of time to be processed, and when you enhance capacity, the farmers' uptake of processing is very easy. That money, 28.7, that factory could have borrowed somewhere, and it will be removed as a cost. So the payment for the farmer is what is being consumed by the cost of production. Cost of production, as I explained, it is the labor, the marketing, the processing, and the cost of loans. You know, when you borrow a loan as a cooperative, as a unit, as a Teta tea factory, you borrow 300 million. Who pays? It is your green leave of the farmer. But these funds, if you need it, and currently we are keeping them the grant. Those who have served for the longest time, and we are giving to around 16 factories. When these funds is ready, it will be for them. So the farmer will not, his green leaf should not be used for purposes of expanding the factories, marketing tea. It should be, when you supply and you sell at $4, you should get the maximum 75%.
But Mutai, I still haven't gotten the answer on the timeline.
Timeline is...
because the issue is, and they claim that there could be a delay in benefiting the farmer because this money is collected through KRA, National Treasury.
No.
That whole loop takes too much time.
It is the issues and the vision. Like what I've collected for the last 1 month, it has already been remitted to T-Board. The other one has no legal authority to use that money. Once it's collected, you're only collecting HN. Even the 222 that they collect for our license, they remit. So it's a seamless process.
You've collected since May 1st. You collected from end of June, end of May.
May, June, and July.
You've already received those
amounts. That amount is in...
how much have you paid out for the benefit of the farmer so far?
You know now, what has challenged me is some farmers, people went to court and say they want to challenge. But you cannot challenge something which had been ventilated in court and ruled in 24th of April 2024.
Is there an order stopping you from paying?
No, there is no say order. I've put what we call a PO, preliminary objection, to object, because you cannot take the court back again to ventilate what they had discussed. And I don't want to discuss because now the court will determine. So if there were no court challenges, that money should be reaching now to be operationalized. I take my 15%, use it for marketing purposes. The research use it for their own...
I'm still not clear. What is stopping the payment for the farmers?
The law has been...
You don't have an order stopping you from paying out?
No. They have challenged my legality of collecting the levy. So it stopped me now. I cannot disperse because of that court court process that we are undergoing now. Once it's cleared, if it is cleared on 9, the tender should be calling people, come and pick your money. Because it is their money. It's in the law. I'm allowed to use 15%.
So ideally, so far, you've not been able to test the kind of timelines it would take from the point of collection of this levy to the time it's...
I could have been now tranching the one for July. Were it not for this challenge in court?
No, I'm still looking at the timeline.
It's very easy.
Between collection of the levy and when it's supposed to hit, for it to be the benefit of the...
You know, the law is very clear.
Yes.
Once you collect and 50% is not yours, you only ask the account for those people and say, this is for the farmer's account in KTDA, bring, you tranche. I will not even spend a shilling in the 50%. The one for the counties, the 47 counties, is reinvents for the development of the tea roads and infrastructures in the tea growing region. I will release to the 21 counties who are collecting, who are producing tea. 20% I will wire to the tea research account, then I remain with my 15%. You see, the law is very clear.
But the law does not prescribe how much time it takes.
Time is once I receive, I tranche.
So there could be a delay.
No delays at all. No
before the money is released to the T-board.
It looks like what I get from the National Treasury for the use for T-board of Kenya operations.
There could be delays in that as well.
Kuna. The most efficient system in this country is government. Even now, as I talk, I've taken my salary. I'm almost asking for the August. So if I'm able to get my tranche for paying my team and operations, and I get from the national on time, there is no delays. And maybe the perception and the communication that you communicate in government, maybe it's, I can say maybe the way we are communicating, you might see there are inefficiencies.
So there could be some delays.
Not at all. Not at all. Then why am I there as the CEO of T-board? Why am I waking up and go to the office to go and do what?
All right.
That's my responsibility as an accounting officer to make sure what I'm doing falls into 3 laws. The BMF Act, PPRA Act. If I'm procuring, if you have given me the service now, let's say in future, TV47 give me a service of airing some issues. Why should I delay your payment?
Okay.
And I've used your service. So likewise to these funds as per the PMF Act and what the law says, I will release religiously as per what the law says.
Okay.
Yes. The only issue that I must say is I need to work so hard to make sure that the Kenyan farmer receive a decent price going forward. They must get a decent price. If that buyer, a packer, who are all over the world getting a decent price by packing Kenya teas and earning over $21 at the expense of my Kenyan people. One, I'm patriotic. Number 2, I must make sure my 129,000 farmers get a decent price.
Okay.
Yes.
There's that 20% that's ideally supposed to go into research and development.
Yes.
And some people feel that probably it's not for the Tea Board of Kenya to conduct tea research and development, that probably this money should also go back to the factories that end up manufacturing and packing for sale. That value addition level is surely a production level and not at a regulatory level.
You know, you research, and now my team will give you some teas. Your taste and my taste and their taste are different. So you need to research what is the consumer preference of orthodox tea, of Imenti, what is for Itumbe, for Kapsara. That is one aspect of research. Number 2, you must breed. You must research breeds that are tolerant to the current scenarios of the climate change. You must research the what you call the flavonoids. You know, in teas, you are not harvesting those matawi. You are harvesting the chemicals that is in that tea, in the 2 leaves and the bud. So all those research must be done by researchers. And one research takes 21 years to be released. If you breed for a specific attributes, let's say trout tolerance or purple tea, for it that pigment to be appeared as purple tea, you take 21 years to get a certificate that this is a clone or this is a variety. So how do you sustain a scientist? A scientist is a PhD holder, a researcher who has done molecular inbreeding. I know you did biology. All those, there is an every person who studied something, engineering, everything. So you research on the crop, you research on the technologies of manufacturing tea. You research on how you should plant the Kenya teas.
How have you been doing it previously?
We have been, by grace of God, The earlier founders of the tea sector, that is the Wasungu in 2005, they came and put up that research. It's the oldest research in the whole world. After
so the manufacturers were handling the research level?
No, it was the government. They brought that research station in 1934 in the research in Kericho. And it is the oldest. Even if you go there, you'll...
Directly funded by the government?
Yes. The people now, scientists, the only challenge is when you don't fund research, scientists will move to other places. They move to...
Do you therefore understand the concern about the probably lack of accountability when it comes to issues around research and development, that you may just be talking about a figure that is amorphous because you really can't account for the output of research?
It is. How to get, why are we the only country in the whole world producing purple tea? Why are we the only scientists who have do that product?
And you've done so without...
Yes, the only country who has one patent, purple tea 306/7 is Kenya. And it was done by our scientists. It was done, not done by...
Without the levy?
It was. We used to have the levies. We have been having support from the sector. This is a support by the sector supporting their activities. And they know. In Kenya, I have over 300 CEOs who are in tea sector. I'm not the only CEO who will have authority to say now. I'm talking about, I'm regulating you guys. I have all the CEOs. I have the CEO of EATTA. I have the group CEO of KTDA. And other CEOs, which are around 9. I'm not the only CEO in tea. There are so many other CEOs, but I regulate them. And I say, this is the direction to go. I'm like the prefect and say, if we are to go to UK market, this is what we need to do. Now we are working on zero tariff going to China. And now I'm the leader saying, we need to go because we have negotiated the zero tariffs. We have worked for the zero tariff for 3 years. It used to have what you call the rare earth method. That was giving the barrier, not to allow Kenya teas to move to China. Ilikuwa ukipatikana na kilo moja unashikwa. Now you can take. We have negotiated that one, it was removed. We have negotiated the zero tariffs now, all our products to move to China. How do we go to China when we are not in a strength? We cannot take China teas na magunia. We have to brand. All the tea, if you go today to all the factories, every factory has a brand. I've moved to 32 factories, having their own brand. We don't have what you call KTDA teas. We have Kizugi tea. We should be having Teta tea, Kamba teas. We don't have KTDA teas. KTDA is a nation managing. It's like you managing other station within under TV47. So this is what we are saying. Each and every place should be a GI and should be a market city for tea. Like what China has done, what Sri Lanka has done. And that's what we are doing. And we will be doing. If you go to Kericho now, the real scenario is each and every village has a factory. In Bomet, Kericho, and those factories, they are really pushing up for the quality. They are really pushing up for their brand. To reach the market, people should know. They should not know Kenya produced tea by only hearing. They should see our brands. Like Ceylon tea. You find Ceylon all over the whole world. But when you go to any other part of the world, you can't see Kenya tea.
All right.
That's the real push. And that's the purpose for this man.
And when you speak, you sound very optimistic and very confident about
I'm passionate. I've worked for 26 years in tea. I've never had any other job.
But if one may ask you about the general health of our tea sector, there have been complaints, criticism that we are lagging behind, that competition is coming up, especially from our neighboring countries. What would you say about such sentiment?
Which countries are those that are challenging me in Africa?
So Kenya still remains number one?
In the whole world. Yes.
In tea production?
Yes. And even the market, we are the pace setter for all the auctions in the whole world after Colombo. So which other auction that these people are talking about? Unless now I'm not getting them. Because if you are a market leader and a market person who assure quality tea, one we pride on, we produce the best teas. My farmers are still loyal. They are still producing 2 leaves and above, and we should thank them. The only issue where we are missing the step is when we put all our teas in kakunias and send it like that, and we assume that we have done service to the farmers. We will do service to the farmers when we value add, when we keep them at decent price. Our prices, the way I know, should not come below $7. If we all put all these forces together, and I should maybe, like where I come from, Toror, I should be promoting that GI of Toror tea. And this is the uniqueness. Likewise to Teta, likewise to Kamba. Each and every unit in this country should be promoting. And I want to give you the example of Chambay. Chambay is highly protected. And it's produced in a small villages in France. Why can we protect? I know you saw the push for Papo tea in France. And we are selling at $18. That effort has been done for 8 years by my team. Yes.
So it's being sold for $18?
Yes.
A kilo?
A kilo.
In France.
That is crazy. Like a farmer will not miss to get
the
farmer will not miss his good price.
So now there's all this noise. Final word, Bwana Mutai. There's all this noise about the regulations, the levy, and all these things. What would you tell people who are opposed to these new regulations, especially the levy?
Those who are opposing are opposing for their own personal interest. But for the farmers' interest, I know the farmers are not opposing. They are really paying, getting their payment. They will still get the value for the money. And we are going to expand market to the village level. We will be selling teas at the name of that village. Right now, after this, I will be going to Igumbi because I'm preparing to launch that tea in China. And that is a 4 million kilos edition. Do you know that 4 million kilos edition I can sell at $100? I can assure Igumbi, because if I'm going to China and I put a good story about Igumbi, and that is only 4 million kilos, and it's a limited edition, it cannot go beyond 4 million per year. Do you think how many people are in China?
Okay.
1.4 billion people. So that tea will be like hot cake, and everyone will want to touch that tea because they will see the GI of that location.
Is it a closed conversation? Because now there are rumors here, mamas here and there.
Yes.
Is it a closed conversation, or are you open to relook at some of these things?
We have moved to the farmers, the owners of the tea, and we have explained to them. And for where it needs to be amended in the Tea Act, to allow everyone, to allow factory to have their own, they can sell 100%, so be it. I'm ready. Right. Number two, what is this honest opinion that we need to do for our people to bring back the jobs that we are exporting? What is that issue that we need to do? I think now we are working on facilitating a common use facility by government giving a grant of 100 million to Keteba to really make sure that all factories, which are 54 or 71, do what you call quota system to pack that Savari pure. When you pack that Savari pure, who should take to the market? We should be now enhancing that capacity. One, to keep a quota system at a decent price. Number two, any unit and any person, any youth in Kenya can come with a brand, go to a common user, bring a name, and sell.
All right.
That's where we are going. And all these youths who have trained in food science, who have trained in marketing, they should be coming for our license. I should even be granting them free export licenses and bringing them in training and giving them a portal to sell the teas. Right. That's how to create jobs.
Asante
but
sana.
You cannot be doing a bulk export, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Willie Mutai, Chief Executive Officer, Tea Board of Kenya. Tea levy debate is what we've been talking about. A lot of criticism on the tea levy, which came into force 1st of May this year. The tea levy regulations 2026 gazetted on 1st of April and took effect on 1st of May. A lot of people criticizing it, but according to Bwana Mutai, it will greatly benefit the industry and the farmer. Well, this has been the discussion. Asante sana Bwana Mutai. After the break, we switch gears, talk about matters relationships. It was about ghosting. Switching and ghosting and talking. Well, you'll get the clarity from Arno Dida and her panel after the break. My name is Freddie Ndimuli. Good morning.